Year 1873, Anastasia Island, St. Augustine, Florida. It begins with laughter, soft, innocent, echoing off coquina stone as the sun sinks into the Atlantic. Then, sudden silence. The St. Augustine lighthouse, standing proud today as a historic beacon, carries within its walls one of the most tragic and chilling stories in American paranormal lore. In the summer of 1873, during the construction of the current tower, Hezekiah Pitti, chief engineer of the site, had relocated his family from Maine to Florida. The Pitti children often played on the grounds, and one particular object became their favorite toy, a small rail cart used by workers to haul supplies from the inlet to the tower site. For weeks, Mary, Eliza, little Carrie, and the daughter of an African-American laborer, whose name was never officially recorded, would ride the cart down the tracks for fun. The game was innocent, until it wasn't. On July 10th, 1873, the wooden board used to stop the cart at the end of the rail line was inexplicably missing. That day, the girls' play ended in tragedy as the cart plunged into the water. One worker dove in and managed to save Carrie, but the other three drowned, trapped beneath the weight of the cart and the panic of a rising tide. Their lifeless bodies were pulled from the water that evening. The Pitti girls were honored and laid to rest in marked graves. But the unnamed fourth child, her story faded into obscurity. No stone, no mention, just silence. But the island never forgot. Decades later, the lighthouse and adjoining keeper's house became hotbeds of paranormal activity. In the 1950s, the last keeper who lived on site moved out abruptly, refusing to spend another night under its roof. He reportedly heard footsteps running up and down the stairs when no one was home, along with whispers behind closed doors. By the 1980s and 1990s, reports surged. Tour guides and visitors began to speak of strange encounters, cold spots in warm rooms, the smell of lamp oil when none was burning, and most famously, a young girl in a period dress who would peek around corners or giggle behind unsuspecting guests. In 2001, during renovations, a volunteer closing the keeper's house turned and saw her, a little girl with long dark hair in 19th century clothing, smiling up at her. Then, in a blink, she was gone. Paranormal investigators brought thermal imaging, EMF detectors, and audio equipment. What they captured were whispers, crying, the sound of distant laughter, all centered around the basement of the house. And here's the twist. In 1970, a fire destroyed much of the keeper's house. It was never explained. No faulty wiring, no weather-related cause. Only the basement remained intact. And it just so happens that this basement sits directly above where the children's cart would have entered the water. Psychics visiting the site believe this area to be a spiritual focal point. Some claim that the unnamed fourth girl, forgotten in life and history, is the most active spirit, not angry, but insistent, appearing more often than the others, playful, but persistent. A child calling out not for vengeance, but remembrance. The most chilling theory? She isn't haunting the lighthouse. She's trapped in it. Bound by a legacy that forgot her name, she plays among the living until someone finally speaks it. The St. Augustine Lighthouse remains open to visitors today. Some come for the view, others for the mystery. A few leave with a story they'll never quite explain.